WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome in, or should I say welcome back into 2 News Now for this series of special shows of live coverage of this weekend's winter storm. You guys, we've been at this all day. I am your host. I'm Alexis Bellamy, and sitting across from me all day has been 2 News anchor Lauren Wood. But look who we have. This has been just a day of first. 2 News anchor Jack Pohl is here with us. Jack, welcome in.
Well, you guys have been working so hard. Lauren came in early this morning when you guys kicked this thing off at 9 o'clock, and I know Steve's been here all day as well. Very long days. I am doing the late shows over on Dayton CW at 10 o'clock, and then WDTN over the air at 11. So I thought we'd give Lauren this last one off so she can get home to her kids.
Yeah, and it gives us a chance to, to see and talk to you, because both you and Lauren actually made your debuts here on 2 News Now, essentially in this co-host capacity, at least on this historic day.
It has been a historic day. And, I'm a lifelong Daytonian. I remember 1978. Steve did a little something on this during the 6 o'clock news, and I'm sure he's talked to you guys about the blizzard of 78. I was actually a paper boy back when they had newspapers. You may not, this generation probably doesn't know what that is. Anyway, everyone would get a newspaper in the morning, and at the time it was the Journal Herald. Well, I'd somehow gotten the papers from the guy who delivered the papers for the kid to deliver them to the houses before the brunt of the storm hit. But if I remember right, it was early in the morning. Anyway, it was certainly when I went to go deliver the papers. So I go outside, and right across the street was like the first one. I go across the street, deliver that first paper, and I walk back, and I knew something was amiss.
Oh my gosh.
You couldn't see anything. So I walk by, my mom's calling me, get back in here, and I'm 13 years old. I'm like, I didn't know any better. She goes, it's a blizzard. We're not delivering papers today.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember that morning like yesterday. And I honestly, we can bring Steve in here too to ask him a little bit. In my lifetime, 60 years, most of it here in Dayton, I don't believe that I have ever seen any kind of snow like this, where it was just dumping, and this is the worst I have ever seen in my life here in Dayton, at least that I remember.
Brian said the same thing, and it's the
he's
same
a lifelong Daytonian.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Steve. Let's bring him in. Storm Team meteorologist Steve Norris.
Now, so Steve, you were talking at 6 o'clock during this. Let's talk a little bit about the craziest thing about the comparisons between the blizzard of 78 and what we're experiencing right now. Is there a day apart?
Yeah, right. The anniversary of at least when we got 12.2 inches, it was on the 26th. So it would be tomorrow, 56 years tomorrow. And boy, we're getting old, right? We start remembering all this stuff.
I know, I was delivering papers back to,
Oh, and I remember that, Jack. We had the banner graphic back in Greencastle, Indiana, and got like a quarter or something for delivering each day's paper.
Yeah, so
it wasn't very much, right?
But I will say this, when you look at some of the video that you showed and you saw just dozens of cars just completely covered, no one was getting out. The city was shut down for days. That's not going to be the case. Having said that, we are at a level 3 at this very moment, a level 3 snow emergency in our 2 biggest counties, which is Clark and then more specifically Montgomery County. And that means you're not allowed to go out unless it's emergency, unless you're going to the hospital.
Stay off the roads.
Stay off the roads. And when I came on earlier this afternoon, about 2 o'clock, I was here.
When you got,
And I drove in at that time, and it was clear. There is no reason to be on the road. I don't even think there's a restaurant open anywhere.
There's not. Me and Maddie, or our producer, are working on trying to find some dinner.
Yeah.
What are we going
bring
to
it over our way if you find it.
Right.
That's for sure. We've got to, we're all going to be.
Even the hotel. It's bad when the hotel closes. It's probably filled up with people, right? And it closes the restaurant because I guess waiters can't get there, cooks can't get there, what have you.
It's amazing that, Alexa, it's amazing. I know you guys all stayed at that local hotel, which Steve's talking about here, but that would be the only way to do it because most people don't have the cars to get through the snow that I saw today at 2 in the afternoon. Now, you took that city shot earlier to start the show, and you could see a few cars here and there. But like they said, with the deep freeze, this snow isn't going anywhere. Steve, talk a little bit about It's really hard to melt this ice when it's the temperatures we have right now.
And looking now, at least the snow has stopped like you guys anticipated it was going to do around this time.
Yeah, it's completely moved out. But yeah, what Jack is talking about is salt is effective when temperatures are generally around 25 degrees or even warmer. It becomes less and less effective under 20 degrees. And then when it gets down to anywhere between 10 and 15, it is considered completely useless. And of course, we had temperatures today, 9 degrees, 10 degrees, 11 degrees. And so a lot of salt had been spread. It just didn't make any difference with the snowfall because it's too cold to melt the snow.
Steve, I'll ask you this then. So a lot of people are having neighbor kids or somehow getting their driveway shoveled. You can see it all over social media. People very proud to get that snow off their driveway, Alexa, if you take a look at that. But they really shouldn't put salt down, right? Isn't that a waste of time?
It's a waste of time.
Consumers.
You're wasting money, and you also put holes in concrete. By the way, I found that out on a concrete driveway, and if you put road salt down on it, and it sits there without melting, it'll put pits. It'll pit your concrete, and you don't want that.
No, we don't. Steve, give us a real quick look of what's going on outside as we're wrapping up this weather event.
There's not a lot to tell you about. Thank goodness for. Well, this radar looks good, right? I mean, it's empty. There's nothing on there, and that's not been the case over the last 24 hours. It has been very, very busy. Look at all that snow we had. You can see it moving out around 6:30, 7 o'clock this evening, and we're done with it. That's it. Not before, though, seen anywhere between 12 and 16 inches of snow across the Miami Valley. The biggest snow. When all is said and done, we still don't know yet whether we set the all-time record. We were very close, only 0.7 of 1 inch away, and we got another big batch of some heavier snow. But I will tell you, we did set the record for today. We had 5 inches for the 25th of January. Today, of course, we got at least 11.5 inches. So pretty amazing stuff, guys.
I think so. And like I said, I've talked about it earlier, but Jack, my favorite color is pink. We saw it all over this map, and now I'm so happy that we do not see it as much.
I was going to say,
anymore.
Is it still your favorite color?
It's not, but that is all right. Thank you for that, Steve. We'll check back in with you in just a few minutes. But now we're going to be following up on a developing story after a deadly plow crash happened in Dayton. Now, authorities say that around 11:35 this morning, officers were sent to St. Paul Avenue on reports of a crash, Jack. So police say a plow company was clearing a private parking lot when a snowplow backed over an employee, and that person was taken to the hospital where they later died. Now, the Dayton Police Department is still investigating this incident, Jack. Oops.
Yeah, that's sad. You know, when you have this type of weather, just everything, and this is not a mundane task by any stretch of the imagination, moving snow. We don't know a lot about it, but I do think it sheds a spotlight on just how difficult everything is in these kind of conditions. Whether you're shoveling the driveway yourself, there's all sorts of dangers out there. Vision was very tough during some of this heavier snowfall, and it's just hard to see anyway, whether there's with these type of conditions. So that's a heartbreaking story, and you just hate to hear things like that. But again, it's just very dangerous. These storms can be fun in some aspects. You think about kids sledding, making snowmen, that sort of thing. But when you get this type of impact from a storm, this type of wind, these types of frigid temperatures, and really the amount of pressure on plow crews, whether they be a professional or business or city or Montgomery County, wherever it might be, it's very tough on them.
Yep, and we're working to learn more about this incident. We'll keep you guys posted on air and online, and of course on our 2 News app when we have that information. But for now, we're wrapping up that coverage. Everything Steve was talking about, everything we've been looking at outside. So let's get into what we know now. Montgomery County is under a state of emergency until noon on Monday. And 2 News has been live every hour on the hour since 9 o'clock this morning, you guys. And our coverage does not end here. When we're done here on 2 News Now with this special series of coverage, be sure to tune back in to 2 News because Jack will be there. He'll be on the airways holding it down for us at 10 and 11 o'clock tonight. So that's when you guys can expect just another round of information on what we are seeing here at home. Okay, so we are going to turn now to a look at some of the snow emergencies, what's been going on throughout our area, Jack.
Well, yeah, there are several county sheriffs that have declared snow emergencies. We mentioned Montgomery County and Clark County is level 3. Clark, Champlain, Auglaize, and Mercer counties also declared a level 3 snow emergency. And what that means is you can only drive the roads if you're an emergency. And you can even get a citation or even get arrested depending on what's going on there. So simple. Stay off the roads with level 3 snow emergency. And even if your county isn't a level 3, now is not the time to be driving around unless it's an emergency. Preble, Warren, Wayne County, they are all under a travel advisory, while Greene, Darke, Clinton, and Miami County have all declared a level 2 snow emergency. Logan County has also declared a level 1 snow emergency. Shelby County, is now the only county to not have a snow emergency in effect. Governor Mike DeWine declared a state of emergency earlier, directing all agencies to provide more support to local jurisdictions, and a lot of people are going to need it because we had the storm. Now comes the hard part. We got to dig out of it.
And I was saying recovery, and they said, no, the word is digging out. But speaking of those resources, a big question a lot of residents have is, when will my road be cleared? So let's break that down a little bit. ODOT is responsible for interstates along with U.S. and state routes outside of municipalities. That's key here. And cities and villages are in charge of U.S. and state routes along with local roads inside of their limits. And counties and townships are prioritizing local roads here. And while we're on the subject of local roads and what's happening on them, you guys, we are going to turn our eyes now, and we've been doing this all day today, is giving you guys a really good look at what is happening outside, what the roads are like here at home in the Miami Valley. So we've been in live drive all day since 9 a.m. That's where we're going to go. We can find 2 news reporters. Sartaj Singh is there. And man, just the difference in the daylight is now just stark dark in there. Sartaj, what are you seeing out there if you can?
Yeah, what we're seeing overall is these roadways are not very good right now. The snow is still sticking to the road, and it's just really dangerous to drive out here. We just drove past a lot of semis that are parked on the side of the highway, actually. Let me give you a look at what I'm seeing right now. Now, this is I-75 North near Moraine, and as you can see, even though there is some clearance in terms of, you see where all the cars, the tires have gone through, there's still a lot of snow, residue still on that roadway. And once again, it's that drifting snow, the high winds with this light snow, that is causing a problem. And you can see right here, the snow is starting to build up as we drive even more on I-75 North. So you want to make sure that everyone stays safe. Drive slowly if you have to go outside. And I was able to talk to someone else as well, the ODOT. I was able to talk to ODOT, and they told me that they actually had some reports of some of their trucks being hit while they're out and about trying to clear the roadway. So once again, they just want to remind everyone to make sure you drive slowly and give ample space to those crews. And the one thing that they're really worried about is these cold temperatures, because the salt that they put out actually doesn't activate until it's over 20 degrees. And we might not get that well into the work week. So once again, if you do plan to go outside, you just need to make sure you stay safe, drive slowly. That's the key word.
Well, Sartaj, I'm not too surprised about saying they've almost been hit. In fact, on that live drive video we just saw there, we saw the pickup truck cross 2 lanes to get into the exit lane, and he was within 100 yards of that plow, which is that is an exact thing I think people think is okay. And I don't like that. Of course, we don't know who that guy is, but that's ridiculous. You slow way down in weather temperatures like this, and then you get over behind whatever traffic. You don't cut anyone off in this kind of weather, and especially don't get that close to a plow truck, which with those lights, you could see from a country mile away.
See it before we even got on the road here.
Sartaj, I will ask you, though, other than what we just saw, which wasn't over the top egregious, but wasn't smart, how have people, the few that have been out on the roads, how would you characterize the driving this afternoon or even into this evening?
I mean, from what I've been able to see, it's not been too bad, but we still get those people that are still driving a little bit of, because here on I-75, it depends on where you're at, but usually the speed limit is 55. In weather like this, you should not be going 55. You should be going half of that, maybe 20, 25. You want to make sure you're safe. So unfortunately, I have seen a couple trucks and cars pass by us, as well as the semis too. So once again, with snow like this and this weather, you don't want to risk it. You don't want to take a chance. And just to give one more look at what we're seeing in front of us, even though the roads do look at this angle right here, they look like there's no snow on the lane that we're traveling in. That can change in an instant with those high winds and that light snow. Once again, ODOT is saying that combined with the cold temperatures, easily within the matter of seconds, these roadways could once again be covered with snow. So once again, you want to make sure that if you are driving, you drive slow. Hopefully everything goes according to plan and no one drives too fast. Drive slow to your destinations.
Yeah, safety has really been the message, not even from ODOT, but all safety experts as we've made our way through this winter weather event, Sartaj. Thank you for that. Please drive safe, I guess, as you get back here. All right, we're going to continue on with our team coverage of this weekend winter weather. Jack, earlier I called it wicked winter weather. Wicked weekend winter weather is a big tongue
it
twister
fits.
It is. It's very fitting. So continuing on.
Wait, no, aren't we calling it Winter Blast 2026?
Oh, yeah,
there
the Winter Blast. Yeah, but that
I like
doesn't
that.
have
I like Winter
alliteration
Blast.
in there.
I love that.
So we're going to turn now to 2 News reporter Julian Jackson. He's actually in Springfield. That's where he's been all day. You look a little bit warmer, Julian, today than you did earlier on.
You're stuck, aren't you, right? Aren't you stuck?
Yes, Jack.
You really are stuck?
Yes, we are stuck. So, I mean, here's the thing, too. And let me just go ahead and break this down for everyone who doesn't know. I know you just talked about it. We did 2.5 segments on this, right? So we are in Springfield right now. Springfield is a part of Clark County. Earlier on today, it was right around noon, just before noon. I called to reach out to Sheriff Christopher Clark, who is the sheriff for Clark County. And I talked to a dispatcher. They got me connected with a sergeant. And so while we're on the phone, Joe Gurnick, our photographer, he was driving me around, and we said, hey, let's go see what the roads look like. There were cars spun out all over the place on 70 in both directions. Ramps were not clear at all. People who were trying to drive on the road were spun out in the opposite direction. It just looked dangerous. And we had people driving it seemed to be in an unsafe manner. So when
Sartaj was just telling us that. He said he saw it, and we actually saw it while we were doing our live drive hit. So it's so sad to see. You hate to see that, but
it is happening.
It's just happening. So we're not surprised what happened to you. Go on, please. I'm sorry, but
and that's just a great point. But while I was on the phone, I believe it was, I forget the sergeant's name right now, Sergeant Elliott with Clark County, and he was very helpful. And so I'm saying, hey, how do you determine these? And he mentioned that, a lot of businesses will be upset because they have to shut down service. That's something we've experienced right here in our own new backyard as we're now temporary residents of Springfield. So we said, okay, we'll get back. Cracker Barrel would be great. We talked to the management over there yesterday. They said, oh, corporate, they're not going to shut us down unless blah, blah, blah. Well, we've experienced people here who are staying in this hotel, and they're from Oklahoma. People from New Jersey on their way to Texas. There is a great mix of people who are also temporary residents of Springfield, and because of that level 3 snow emergency and because of the legalities that go behind that, you can't leave. I mean, we have someone with a full truck that needs to drive 18-plus hours to San Antonio, and he needs to be there by Thursday. If they don't lift this level 3 snow emergency by tomorrow afternoon, he's really going to be up against his deadline.
Yeah, it's a great point, Julian, that you make. The economic impact of just everyday life, whether it be all these restaurants that close down. Right, Alexis? You were saying earlier you have no place to go to eat tonight. So it's just it's really sad. It's just one of those many things we talked about where this winter storm had such a major impact on literally
huge,
everyone.
Wide felt, truly. Yeah. So please be careful, be safe out there, Julian. We hope you were not stuck for too much longer and you can get back here.
I will tell you, though, there is some silver lining here, and I'm really excited to share. I was going to go live from inside there. We have an indoor pool, so I'm about to.
Oh, come on, show me.
Are you
Go for
Julian,
it, my brother.
You do it. But be careful. That really sounds like something fun to be doing.
The biggest winter storm in 50 years, and Jules is swimming.
All right, that's very on par. Thanks, Julian. I guess we'll hear back more from you later tonight at 10. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we actually may have some breaking news. We're going to turn now to Storm Team 2 meteorologist Steve Norris, who can break that down for us, and he's probably actually really excited about it because it has to do with the only thing that really has been mattering, which is the records that we've been breaking during this winter storm. Steve?
Today just became even larger. Brian Davis, the chief meteorologist here, just texted me and told me that it is now official, the biggest snowstorm of all time in Dayton. Today we picked up officially 12.4 inches. Now, remember the blizzard, again, going back to 1978, 48 years ago. I misspoke earlier. It's not 56, 48. But anyhow.
But we feel 10 years older after today.
Gosh, I know, right? We do. A lot of work. But the storm total, that means what we got just before midnight, 1.5 inches, 1.6, and then what we got today, 12.4. 14 inches exactly at the International Airport.
Wow.
So this storm delivered.
14.
Yeah. 14
It
inches.
delivered and then some.
And that's on the ground right now,
Steve,
right? None of it melted. It's all on the ground.
It's not going anywhere either. But, it's funny. There's so often, and you do need to plan for the worst, because if you don't, you're in a lot of trouble if it happens. So, but this is one of those rare times where we, said this is the top end worst that it's going to be.
And it really
happened.
was.
And it was.
It really was.
And the only difference between today, because a lot of people have compared this storm to that blizzard of 78, but that blizzard, it was a blizzard. Today it was not a blizzard. It was a severe winter storm warning. So back then we had winds like, 60, 70 miles per hour. And that's why we had those gigantic drifts, right? They're 20 feet high, and you saw all those cars just buried in snow. It was because of the winds. Today we got more snow. Now officially more snow than back then, but we didn't have the winds, and that's why, we have troubles.
Okay.
But our troubles aren't like back then.
Alrighty, Steve. So tell us a little, as we're wrapping it up here, give us a really quick look at what to expect for tonight. There's that pink
just
again. Maybe
one
I'll
thing
like it again after today. Yeah,
just one thing to keep in mind. The winter storm warning, the snow's out of here, but that does continue until noon tomorrow, because things are very treacherous out there. You can see a live picture right now from Goodwill. And speaking of Goodwill Easter Seal, speaking of the wind, look at that flag there on the left side of your screen. Barely moving. It's not like the blizzard with those winds of 60 and 70 miles per hour. So the snow on the ground, it's not being thrown all over the place, but all of that snow melted down equates to 0.95, almost an inch of water, let's say, in all of that snow, that 14 inches of snow. And of course, that 11.5 will now become 12.4 that you see there on the right. So lots of records broken. And now we're going to break records in terms of temperature. It's going to get very cold, guys, for the next several days. And what about school? I think probably no school, not just tomorrow, but Tuesday because of the snow. And then after that, I don't think any school. How can
it's going to be winter break. An unscheduled winter break would be my guess.
Yeah,
especially in some of the rural counties. I mean,
you can't have a child standing at the bus stop, right? With winds of, with actual temperatures 9 below zero and wind chills of 25 below zero. You can't have that, and that's what it's going to be the rest of the week. And so I think they're going to have the week off.
Yeah, and Steve, I feel like really since the winter started back in November, I feel like it's been one of the most snowy winters ever. I'll be curious by the end of the year if this will be one of the all-time, maybe the all-time great.
Right?
Yeah,
we'll check that out.
Sure. Steve, thank you so much for staying with us and being with us as we break down this weekend winter. And we broke that record. I'm not sure if that's something you were rooting for or something you were happy about.
Well, we were so close. We better beat it, right? When you're this close.
It just seemed like you were really excited about it. So we broke that record. So
happy.
Time now is 7:28. Before we wrap things up here with our live 2 News Now special coverage, we're going to show you guys a look at downtown. So we've been talking to so many people here tonight to wrap things up for us. We are joined by 2 News traffic anchor Lee Jeffries. There she is. Lee, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I've been good. I've been inside all day. I've just been enjoying the view.
Yeah, we know.
In the snow.
Because we actually, the running joke in here is that this is happening because of Lee. She said if it's going to snow, if we're going to get any white, it needs to be a lot of it. So is this enough for you, Lee?
This is the most snow I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So I think I'm satisfied.
Show us your window. What does it look like outside where you are? You have a beautiful view of the city.
Yes. This is downtown. You can see snow just everywhere, covering the whole city. Got some cars on 35 back there.
Have you gone outside, Lee?
I have not all day.
Okay. Well, now that the snow has stopped, do you plan on taking a journey outside and seeing if anyone is maybe outside running?
I'll tell you this, Lee, it will be there tomorrow. So you don't have to do it tonight.
No rush. I think eventually I will go sledding. So we'll see.
Oh, you've been talking about sledding and
Suicide Hill Kettering. That's where I'd tell you it is a lot. Yeah.
Is that the name of it?
It's actually on the community golf course. It's one of the holes, but they've just been called Suicide Hill for as long as I've been here, and that's a long time.
That is certainly
so
a
at
long
least
time.
60 years. So
my
it's a
gosh.
great hill. If you got the guts, Lee.
Lee,
so
don't go to Suicide Hill. Let's go.
You can go to the
nice.
Bunny Bump. That's right behind it.
That sounds
there's
a
nothing.
little bit better.
I'll start there.
Okay. Lee, to give us one word to describe the snow, as this is the first time you've seen this much snow too. We've been talking to a lot of people, and this was their first big snow event.
I'm going to say exciting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Jack,
exciting.
I don't think I've asked you that. I think earlier we, took it in, and I think Avery said fun. I can't remember Lauren's word. Who remember what Lauren said to describe this snow? I can't remember what Lauren said, but Cameron said at home. I said unnecessary. Lisa's exciting. Jack, wrap us up. What is your
mine
word?
is, now this is mostly for when it's falling.
Okay.
And I've always said this my whole life. So to put it in one word, I would say tranquil. Now I know all the chaos that goes with it on the roads and all the problems it's causing. But if it's just me looking out a window, at a street lamp at night with snow falling or snow falling outside in the afternoon, it mellows me out. It's tranquil. It's I'm a skier, so I have an affinity
Jack,
for
you
snow.
ski?
So yes.
We're learning new things about you,
Yeah,
Jack.
so I'm not too afraid. The older I get, though, I mean, enough is enough.
Okay,
but,
so maybe Lee do get outside so we can see Jack on the slopes then.
Yeah, I'll be on the slopes here at the end of March. I'll head out to Colorado and do some skiing.
All righty. Well,
or I'll just go out to the back parking lot here
at this
Channel
point,
2.
yeah, the way things are looking here. Lee, thank you for joining us and showing us your look at downtown. Absolutely beautiful. I'm very happy you've stayed inside and stay safe. Maybe go outside tomorrow and get some sledding in.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
All righty. It is 7:31 now. Before we wrap up, we're showing you that final view. Here is our tower cam of downtown, showing you some of what Lee was showing us. And Jack, I know you said you used tranquil to describe when the snow was falling, but this looks tranquil. Just a nice blanket of snow there.
Yeah, mellow night, one or two cars on the highway. And they, it's just, the one thing weather does is slows everyone down.
Certainly.
I mean,
and
to a crawl now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I do think that's a good thing, where it literally, all the stories we cover on the news take a back seat. Doesn't mean they're not important. It just means weather is the one thing
that everyone can agree on is important for right now.
Yeah, it is. And it affects every single person. I mean, even if you don't go outside, it's still impacted. It's still impacted. It's the reason you don't want to.
Perfect. And it will do it for us at 7:32. Thank you guys for joining us. We started out doing our live special coverage at 9 a.m. Hits on the hour every hour.
You were awesome. You were awesome all day long.
I had great help.
Great.
My producer, Matt Dries, is here directing. We did a great job. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to check back in on 2 News on WDTN at 10 and 11. Jack will be there. No me. Got to go to bed. But thanks for joining us, you guys. Stay safe and stay warm out there. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.